Euro USD, we predicted that price was going to sweep this trendline liquidity, and this supply area here was going to act as inducement, which it did. Then price pushed higher towards our supply area of interest. Once it did that, it immediately retested back into the range. So initially what I did was I had this sell limit here where stops was above the high, then the target was the overall swing low, right? So if this had happened any other day, I would have actually taken this trade. But since it happened later on Friday, I ended up removing my sell limit, because usually whenever the weekend is over, price usually shoots up and leaves a gap in the market. And I really want to do that throughout the weekend, because when we get taken out, we usually lose more than we expect. So if I was going to lose 1,000 here, price can gap up and shoot towards this area, and we end up losing like 3,000, 4,000. So that's why usually on Fridays I never take any entries. I wait for the opening day on Monday to take another continuation towards the downside. So throughout this week now, by Euro USD, I am looking for sales. So if I were to jump to the 4 hour, I'm just waiting for either the 1 hour or the 4 hour to give me a valid supply area. So a valid supply area, some like this, where if we break below this low and then we retest, we'll take an aggressive entry and then shoot for this low here. So we'll aim for something like this, where the sell limit will be there, stops above the high, then the target will be the same area, right? And we'll keep in mind that we do have demand areas here which could stop price and reverse. And since we're by a psychological level 1.2000, price can still respect this demand, then push higher. So I'll keep in mind that if price does give a confirmation of shifting higher, I'll get out of the trade and wait to see if the demand that follows is respected. If it isn't, we look for continuation. But if it is, we'll wait for price to make newer highs, then look for buy opportunities. So again, we swept the liquidity, got a confirmation entry, and I was supposed to enter here, but since it happened later on Friday, I ended up missing this trade idea. But I'm looking for a continuation, just as we predicted last week, where we're looking for price to sweep this liquidity. And this was my favorite supply area, because it was directly above all this liquidity here, the trendline liquidity and the supply liquidity. And throughout the week, I was actually looking for buy opportunities. So if you look here, I have these lines which show that I was looking for liquidity here, and I was looking for price to break above this, then immediately retest towards the supply to shoot up. But then we overshot and landed towards the supply area, looking for sales after that. So right now, by Euro USD, for the next week, I'll be looking for sales. Then by GBPCHF, we didn't take any trade, because initially we were looking for price to retest towards this area, give a confirmation, then move lower. But we reacted towards on this zone here, where we swept the liquidity above the zone, swept the liquidity above this zone here, and then pushed lower. So since we pushed lower and we began ranging, there wasn't really any good opportunity for me to take here within this currency pair. So throughout the week, I was just waiting for price to push higher towards my supply, but it really did. It only swept the lows, but failed to push any higher above this high here. So since we have range liquidity here, whenever we have range liquidity and a supply area right above it, we usually tend to shoot higher, grab the liquidity and enter the supply, then immediately pull back. Like, we rarely get a confirmation by these supply areas. So if I do get an opportunity, I'll actually take an aggressive sell, stops above the high, and then the target would be the low. Just a simple 1 to 3 risk to reward here. So it's the simple trade idea. But that's if we really do consolidate and then fail to push lower. So if we push below the swing low, this idea will fail entirely. Then we'll focus on getting newer supply areas that form to take price lower. Then the last one, GBP EURJPY, we took this sell trade from this demand that had formed from the previous video, which said we took an entry from this supply area that formed towards the swing low, and this trade happened for about 10 hours. So from like 4 to about 2 3, yeah, 2 3, so exactly 10 hours. So we took this sell trade, and after that I was really satisfied because we really didn't need another trade within this currency pair and throughout the week. So we took one win here, and overall we have won twice throughout the year. So that's a good result, and yeah, catch you later.